Hi everyone, welcome to the next installment of our little graduate student vignettes, I guess we're going to call them. I'm Stormy Kretschmar. I am your graduate program advisor. It is absolutely bucketing down outside, so if you hear a rumble in the background, that is thunder. We are having one crazy rainstorm here in College Station, and if you are new to College Station, if you have never been here before, we can get some pretty torrential downpours, some pretty extreme weather. So yeah, it keeps us on our toes. So we are going to talk about international student services. So this is really a vignette geared toward our international students. And what I wanted to do was go over all of the things that international student services can offer. And here is their website. It's iss.tamu.edu. And so what this website does is it's got a lot of information and it's hefty. So let's just take our time and go through it. So you have prospective students at the top, current students, former students, and then just other ISS information about, meet the staff, contact them, location. So let's talk about prospective students. So they have information about how to apply to Texas A&M, applying for your visa, you're admitted, and now what, check-in and orientation, arrival info, estimated costs of attendance, scholarships and financial aid, resources, distance learners, and health insurance. And so if you click on apply to Texas A&M, that will just take you to the Office of Admissions. If you're an international student, you have already most likely gone through the international application process. So that is just sort of redundant information for you. But applying for a visa, this is good, important information. All students who are international who want to come to the United States have to enter the United States on a visa. There are a lot of terms that are going to be thrown out. There's things like visa, there's things like J1, F1, those are visa statuses. There's something called CVIS, and that is a portal. If you heard that, that was thunder. That's a portal through which all of your information gets updated to the Department of Homeland Security. An I20 is something that students have to have, or a DS 2019. These are all things related to immigration processing, but this website can walk you through that. You're admitted, now what? This is the right place to go if you're like, I don't know how to do my I-20, I don't know what a DS 2019 is, I don't know what visa status I need to be, but this will tell you what you need to do, where you need to go. So a new F1 student needing an I-20 from ISS. So an I-20 is basically the thing that gets you your visa appointment. And so after you're admitted, ISS issues an I-20. Now there's a lot of information that you have to submit to Texas A&M before you can actually be granted an I-20. And so that has to all be submitted to ISS through their system before they can issue that out. And it is a lengthy process, if you can see, so be sure to start it early. Anyway, and so then it goes through other different visa options and other information. So definitely spend some time going through that. Check-in and orientation. So once you've actually become a student, you come to Texas A&M. All check-ins, I believe, have now rolled to online. So you no longer check in person with Texas A&M. I believe it's through Teradata. And you go in, and I'm not sure the information that you put in there. They don't give us access to that system, but that's the new check-in process. Arrival information. This tells you information about how to find housing, if you're at College Station and getting around, scholarships and financial aid if you need that. Current students who are already here, again, it gives you a lot of the other information. This is actually one that's really interesting, health insurance. All international students who are admitted to Texas A&M have to have health insurance. And now either that's going to be related to your employment, if you become an employee of Texas A&M through a graduate research assistantship or a graduate teaching assistantship or some other employment status that grants you health insurance. If you are not an employee and you do not get it through the employee health insurance, then you have to pay for the sort of academic health insurance, and that's through ISS. And it is rather steep in price. That is just the program that we have that Texas A&M has subscribed to, but I believe it is very good insurance. It covers a lot of different things, and so it's robust insurance. There's also a lot of things related to getting a social security number actually when you arrive to Texas A&M. If you're going to be an employee, if you're going to be being paid, you do have to do this thing called taxes here in the United States. Unfortunately, it's those things that we have to do, and so you will need to work on getting a social security number. If you want to drive in the United States or have a state issued ID in Texas, then you're going to need a driver's license. And again, ISS is a department that can walk you through how you do that. So that current student tab is a really good place to go once you actually get here and you get settled and you need to figure out, how do I go about getting all these other things? Former students, obviously, we're not there yet, but hopefully you'll be there soon. They also have on the left-hand side other information that you may want to know about campus services. So Grad Aggies is a professional development club within graduate studies. Then you have the Office of Graduate and Professional Studies. You have the International Student Organization. So there is an international student organization, association that gets together and has functions and events, meetings, and fun events that go on. There is the Money Education Center. So if you have questions about, how do I buy a house in the United States, or how do I budget, or lots of different things that you can go to, and those are free services for students. And keep in mind that most of the services on the Texas A&M campus as a student are free. So anything related to student counseling services or these Money Education Center, the Career Center, you do have to pay for the Recreation Center, but it should be included in your tuition. What else is in here? The Career Center, TAMU Outdoors, the rec sports. Let's see, important dates. That's another good place where students can go to and find a lot of really, really good information. Graduate students are sort of buried under a lot of deadlines. And if you're an international student, you have even more. And so this links you to the registrar, academic calendar, academic policy, all those deadlines. Then you have OGAP's deadlines, and then you have ISS deadlines. So there are deadlines related to the registrar, such as, this is the day that you need to register. This is when you have to register by. This is the last day to drop any classes or to change your schedule, or if you need to withdraw from Texas A&M. Those are registrar-related academic calendar deadlines. Or when are holidays? When is campus closed? When are classes not in session? When do finals begin? Then OGAP's deadlines are things like, when do I need to file my graduate degree plan? When do I need to establish a committee? When do I need to do my final exam or my preliminary exam? And then ISS deadlines are things like, oh, well, let's just click on it. That didn't take me where I wanted it to go. Oh, okay, so here we go. These drop down little menus. So these are the ISS important deadlines. So new international student check-in. Let's actually go to fall. That's the term. Oh, they don't actually have fall up here. Let's go to spring 2019. So that was the one that was most recent. You have, orientation. You have the last day to request co-enrollment permission. Let's see, health insurance waivers accepted. So if you do have employee health insurance, then you can waive your academic health insurance, and you have to do that by a certain date. Here's the date where you have to be enrolled full-time. All international students have to be enrolled full-time. That is a requirement. And so in the fall and spring, that is 9 hours. In the summer, that is 6 hours. And so if you're on that F1, J1 visa status, you have to be enrolled full-time, and there are deadlines for when you need to do that. There are days when you need to apply for OPT. OPT is basically your petition to work in the United States after you graduate from Texas A&M. You have to do that via OPT, and there are deadlines for that. And there's something called CPT. Those are deadline. That CPT is work authorization for while you're still a student. Typically, it's related to your program. Anyway, so this is just a really good place for you to go as an international student to get good information. Community information. You can do dinner in a U.S. home. You can explore the Bryan College Station area, BCS, explore Texas, get involved on campus, survival manual. What else? International families. So people who are bringing their families with them, this is a good place to go for information. Also sponsored students. So if you are a sponsored student, you have a whole other sort of portion of your graduate studies while you're here. This is just one of them. This is one area that you can go to. You can also actually go to the sponsored student programs office. And if you know you're a sponsored student, then they should already be in contact with you. And what else? I think that's about it. If you have any questions, of course, you can always go to their office. Their phone system can be a little cumbersome. Apologies for that, but just keep trying and keep emailing. And I can't do a lot. Please, I apologize for that. There's not much I can do. They're really the hosts of anything international. So if you ask me an international processing question, I'll have to unfortunately refer you to ISS. But yeah, and if you're ever on campus and you want to just hop into their office, of course, they're more than welcome to chat with you as well.